Good afternoon, I'm Shane Masters with the Midday News. A special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. Uncertainty continues to plague entertainment promoters who are planning events for the holiday season. They say despite the announcement of a 2-hour extension for events, they are still losing because of unexpected lock-off orders from the police. TVJ's Herman Green reports.
The Culture and Security Ministers confirmed the 2-hour extension for entertainment events last week. However, event coordinators in Vineyard Town, St. Andrew, say some police personnel may not have received the memo. Clive Campbell says he got permission for a fundraising event on Saturday, but at 2 o'clock, the police came to shut them down.
They said we didn't have time, permission to go past 2. That's what the corporal said to me. And then I said to him, it's unfortunate. When I spoke to the soup down there, and I went down there Friday.
Down where?
At Telliston Road, collect the permit, which we had already paid the money for KSAC. He said everything is good. I'm in order. So, you know, he told me that there was no doubt or, you know, for me to have suspicion, say, police would come and stop it.
According to the ministers, the 2-hour extension from 12 midnight to 2 a.m. on weekdays and from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. on weekends took effect on December 13 and will last until January 31, 2020. The promoters say the police are not observing the new lock-off times, and this miscommunication can cost them dearly and damage relationships between the police and the community.
Yeah, because the party, everybody was hoping for the thing to go to 4. So when they came before 4, we were kind of sad.
They are calling for clear steps from the government to rectify the situation promptly. Mr. Campbell voiced one suggestion which he thinks should be used.
Have a campaign to educate the public and the law enforcers that we extend it, or it was passed until 4 o'clock, 4 a.m. in the morning to have parties.
So we just want the government and the law enforcement to clear up that so everybody can know, can work effectively. Because we want to work, we want to stay within the law, you know. So we just want them clear up that for everybody, please.
With just 12 days to go before the end of 2019, the Trelawny Police are issuing a warning that it will be clamping down on all acts of criminality. More in this report. The Trelawny Police say it will not be business as usual with days to go before the end of 2019. This is especially so for persons who seek to carry out robberies and murders during the festive season. Speaking to TVJ News yesterday, head of the Trelawny Police Superintendent Kirk Ricketts says for the festive season, special focus will be on the parish's financial district.
We're looking at some of the financial institutions. We'll be looking at some of the vulnerable groups. We know at this time of year, we'll have elderly persons coming out to the financial institutions, whether or not it's pension, whether or not it's money coming from overseas. So we're going to be trying to help to secure these vulnerable persons.
In relation to murders, Superintendent Ricketts says plans are being put in place to cauterize the level of murders for the rest of the year. So far, Trelawny has recorded 29 murders this year. Now of special focus, gangs. We will
be trying to manage these hotspots. There are some other issues that impact Trelawny that are not necessarily gang related. We have had some murders that are on the domestic side. So we're working with some of our other stakeholders to try and see how best we can address these issues.
Meanwhile, Mayor of Falmouth, Colin Gager, says the municipal corporation has instituted a number of traffic changes in the town of Falmouth for the festive season.
This was necessary because of the amount of traffic that is using the town on the Water Square, coming through Water Square and Falmouth on a whole.
The mayor noted that with these new changes, parking will not be allowed in the town centre.
For example, the parking on Top Street, all vehicles is supposed to be removed off Top Street, the roadway. We have given special permission for the firefighters that have their vehicle. They will be parked at the roads and work compound. There is also that big open land on Top Street that was the old transportation center that can be used too for parking.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has hailed Jamaica's new air traffic control center, which was officially opened yesterday. The new center is located at the headquarters of the Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority on Winchester Road in St. Andrew. Mr. Holness outlined some aspects of the system.
System-wide air traffic management automation surveillance system, a new global positioning system, master clock and receiver, and I'm sure that this will be explained later on in the program, to ensure and maintain precision and accuracy in the reporting of time.
And it's time for a break, but stay with us. More news right after these messages. Welcome back, continuing the news. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is adamant that the challenge of squatting will be addressed. Mr. Holness argued that the challenge is that there isn't sufficient affordable housing being provided for members of the society. TVJ's Andrew Ladley reports.
The issue of squatting continues to be a major issue, with both political parties toughing the topic. At the PMP's annual conference in September, party president Dr. Peter Phillips said if his party wins the next general election, it will launch a comprehensive assault on squatting. Dr. Phillips said a PNP government would change a number of laws so that about 700,000 Jamaicans can get land titles. But speaking in Portmore last evening, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says there's more to the issue of squatting than what the opposition leader is positing.
It's not that we are indisciplined and just, ignore what the law says. That's not the case. There is a genuine need for affordable housing solutions.
Mr. Holness, however, hastened to point out that the notion that the system is skewed in favor of the wealthy is also flawed. He says what has transpired is that there was no investment by successive governments in having an effective operational housing market.
If we had a housing market that could provide housing solutions for every income level of persons, then there would be no need for someone to say, you know what, let me go and occupy that piece of land that I don't see anybody using.
But Mr. Holness says the challenge of squatting must end. This, he says, will have to be done by empowering the government's housing organizations.
We have to start thinking now about building these communities, not the incremental way, building them up front, putting in the rules, putting in the facilities, and making them affordable. And it can be done.
Mr. Holness was speaking at the handing over of titles by the Housing Agency of Jamaica in Portmore last evening. Andrew Ladley, TVJ News.
Minister with Portfolio Responsibility for Information, Carl Samuda, is insisting that systems are in place to ensure accountability and transparency in the ongoing debushing program. Despite assurances from the Prime Minister that the Integrity Commission would oversee the project, there have been concerns.
We have gone through an exhaustive program of education to everyone who is involved in the program. And that is led by the Prime Minister himself, who has laid down the rules and regulations governing the program. And I'm satisfied that his effort in ensuring absolute integrity in the execution of this program is first class. And as a result, you will see the marked improvement that has taken place so far. And we're not finished in all constituencies yet.
Meanwhile, Mr. Samuda announced that Cabinet recently approved the purchase of 5 acres of land in Darling's Pen, Spanish Town for the construction of the divisional headquarters for the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
The move is to keep, make all the efforts in the world to provide a more suitable working environment for the police officers and better service delivery to the public. That's an area that has been of concern to the country for some time, and we are doing everything we can in our power to ensure that the environment in which the national security personnel operates is up to a certain standard.
The Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, is on a drive to improve its operations so that the process for reporting child abuse cases is much easier. Chief Executive Officer at the CPFSA, Rosalie Gage-Gray, says there are various methods being put into place to make the agency more effective. Speaking at a recent stakeholders meeting at the Terra Nova Hotel in St. Andrew, Mrs. Gage-Gray said one such is a 24-hour call center.
A 24-hour call center to report abuse. We are working with the project with IDB as well to see if we can get that call center set up with the National Children's Registry so that we are able to receive calls at all times. These are things which will allow our children to be able to call in and to talk to somebody. I remember one night I saw on my WhatsApp, help. It was just one word, help. Not sure how the child got my number, but she just posted help. And we were able to do that one-on-one communication.
News now in sports. Despite a very good 2019 season, national discus throw champion Travis Michael says he was shocked by the nomination for RGR Gleaner Sports Foundation Sportsman of the Year for 2019. Smichael, one of the 3 first-time nominees for the Sportsman of the Year, takes a spotlight in the build-up to next month's RGR Gleaner National Sports Awards Gala.
Travis Michael turned professional 7 years ago, but had to wait until 2019 to enjoy his best year as a senior athlete. The 27-year-old was crowned national champion in the men's discus, upsetting favorite and national record holder Frederick Dakers, who is also his training partner. Smichael also won silver in the event at the Pan American Games in Lima, Peru, and ended 7th on the World Athletics list with a season's best of 67.57 meters. But despite these accomplishments in 2019, Smichael says he wasn't expecting the nomination.
To be honest, I was very shocked. I didn't even know. I was just chilling one day and my friend messaged me and told me congrats. And I was telling her for what. And she sent a screenshot and I was being nominated for the Sportsman of the Year that's normally kept by RJR. So I was like, what? But I'm truly grateful. I'm truly grateful for the recognition and opportunity.
Smichael did miss out on qualifying for the final at the World Athletic Championships in Doha, Qatar. But, he says, rather than view it as a disappointment, it was a learning experience.
This season was very interesting, but it was also my best season as a senior athlete. When I assessed this, I had a few good moments. The only bad meet I had for the whole season was the World Champs, because obviously I didn't make it to the final, but that was my only low. But it's a learning curve, and I'm hoping to do better next year.
With the 2020 vision firmly in place, Smichael says he's eyeing gold at the Olympic Games in Tokyo, Japan next year.
The main goal is the medal at the Olympics. I want to win there, so I'm working towards it, hoping for personal best this season. I know if I can get a personal best and be consistent thereabout, I can medal and I can be a contender for whatever championship is being held next year.
Smichael has a personal best of 67.72 meters for the men's discus. The RGR Gleaner Sports Foundation National Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year Awards Gala takes place on Friday, January 17 at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in Kingston. Live coverage will be on TVJ, TVJSN, OneSpotMedia.com and on Hits 92 FM.
Thanks, Jermaine. And that's the Midday News. I'm Shane Masters. Join us at 7 for Primetime News. On behalf of the news, sports and production teams, good afternoon.